Welcome to another episode of Genre Bite, a series where I take a look at the different genres in anime. In this episode we'll be looking at the sci-fi genre. The sci-fi genre is one of the most popular genres, not only in anime but in video games, movies and books. But the Japanese love their sci-fi anime. If you look at all the most important anime series, they're pretty much all sci-fi. So why do we love sci-fi so much? What is it about the future that really interests us? Well, there are no limits to what you can create in a sci-fi setting. Since the future hasn't happened yet, you're free to create a completely new world. Humans are attracted to the unknown, and the biggest mystery of all is the future. I guess we're obsessed with the future and what it will bring. An uncountable amount of futures have been created for anime. Futures where we can use cyborg body parts, futures where we settle our differences with epic space battles, the list goes on and on. Each world just as interesting as the last. And it's not like we'll ever run out of future to write about. As long as humans use their imagination, we'll continue to create new and exciting sci-fi stories. So where did sci-fi anime all begin? Well, it pretty much began with anime. Ever since the birth of anime, we've had sci-fi ruling our TV screens. Astro Boy was one of the earliest anime, and it was a sci-fi anime. Then the countless amount of mecha shows in the 70s and 80s, all sci-fi. The space operas, again all sci-fi. Then through the 90s, sci-fi continued to rule the anime scene with anime like Ghost in the Shell, Evangelion and Bebop. It's not hard to see that sci-fi was one of the biggest influences on anime. Let's have a look at some of the most important sci-fi anime. In the 70s we had shows like Space Battleship Yamato and Mobile Suit Gundam. Despite being made 40 years ago, Space Battleship Yamato is still regarded as one of the best sci-fi shows. And of course Mobile Suit Gundam gave birth to one of the most successful franchises in anime. Then in the 80s we had another huge wave of sci-fi anime. So many I can't even mention them all. Of course we had the start of the Dragon Ball franchise. Macross also had a high influence on the growing Western anime industry, where shows started to get their spot on the Western television. And of course one of the most successful, influential animes of all time, Akira. At the time it was Japan's most expensive animated movie ever, and it really shows. Akira still beats most of the animation today, and most sci-fi directors would be lying if they said their work wasn't influenced by Akira. We also had the start of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, held as one of the best anime shows ever to be created by many fans. Similar to the 80s, the 90s had countless anime classics. Ghost in the Shell had a similar effect to Akira in terms of budget and influence. Evangelion revolutionised the mecha genre, and Cowboy Bebop gave the Western anime fans something else to show their friends. The influence of sci-fi anime doesn't stop there. Hollywood have been known to take a huge amount of inspiration from anime, and recent blockbuster Pacific Rim was close to being an Evangelion tribute film. It can be hard to know where to start with the sci-fi genre, so I'll give some recommendations. Akira is easily a must-watch movie for any anime fan. It's part of the reason why we're all watching anime today. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic Japan where we follow a biker gang as they accidentally get involved with the government plans. The animation is breathtaking and the story will have you hooked throughout. If you've been to a shop that sells anime, then you've probably seen some of the Ghost in the Shell stuff. This movie raised the bar of animation once again, and is probably one of the best and most accurate futuristic worlds to come out of anime. Legend of the Galactic Heroes is an anime that got pretty much everything right. It had a world rich with history and politics, a massive cast of well-developed characters, and an epic story that spans 110 episodes. This is an absolute must-watch for any anime fan, whether you like sci-fi or not. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Genre Bite. If you have a specific sci-fi anime that you think deserves a mention, then leave it in the comments. Don't forget to click the like button and check out other Genre Bite episodes. And if you want to see more videos, you can click subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.